Almost everyone has felt that gut punch moment when someone who once seemed fully invested suddenly becomes distant, cold, or unreachable overnight. One day their eyes light up when they see you, and the next, they act like you were never part of their world at all. It feels like betrayal wrapped in confusion, leaving you replaying every conversation, searching for the moment everything shifted. But behind this silent exit is a deeper psychological process, an inner evaluation. They never voiced. A quiet recalibration you were never invited into. Humans often withdraw long before they physically leave, hiding the emotional distance because they fear confrontation, guilt, or the discomfort of honesty. The sudden disappearance hurts because you never saw the internal storm that pushed them away, making their exit feel like a personal failure instead of a hidden process. But what if the truth is that these vanishings aren't random at all, and that understanding the pattern behind them gives you power you've never had before? Many people cling to the comforting belief that kindness, patience, and sincerity should naturally lead to love, but the real world rarely rewards goodness alone. You can pour your heart out, show up every time, and offer genuine warmth, yet still be overlooked by someone searching for something entirely different. Attraction isn't built on moral character. It's built on the emotional experience someone feels when they're around you. I've seen people who radiate integrity and compassion struggle endlessly, not because they lack worth, but because others didn't feel the specific emotional pull they were seeking. Meanwhile, someone with far fewer virtues but stronger presence, confidence, or mystery can effortlessly draw attention without trying. It's not fair, but it's human psychology. People respond instinctively to what they feel, not what they logically know. So what are these invisible signals that make some people unforgettable and others invisible? The answer takes us deeper into the hidden mechanics of desire. You can carry extraordinary qualities, strength, empathy, ambition, resilience, but if the world can't see them, they remain invisible. People make rapid emotional judgments based on small cues: your energy, your voice, your presence, your posture, even the silence between your words. It's painful to realize that internal greatness doesn't automatically translate to external recognition. You can be a masterpiece hidden behind a curtain. Humans are wired to respond to signals, not intentions, and most decisions of attraction or connection happen before logic ever enters the room. That's why someone with half your depth can create twice the impact. They simply communicate their value more clearly. This isn't about being fake. It's about letting the world see the parts of you that deserve to be seen instead of hiding behind humility or fear. But what happens when you finally reveal your value and someone loses interest the moment they feel fulfilled by it? The truth is more unsettling than you think. Many people believe that giving more time, more affection, more effort will automatically deepen the bond. But sometimes it has the opposite effect. When you hand someone your whole heart too quickly, you accidentally remove the mystery, tension, and emotional rhythm that attraction naturally feeds on. Humans don't just desire comfort, they desire discovery, and when everything is given up front, there's nothing left to uncover. The connection begins to feel predictable, and predictability quietly suffocates the spark that once felt electric. You didn't love too much, you simply loved too fast, overwhelming the pace at which the relationship could naturally grow. It's devastating to realize your generosity became the very thing that dimmed their interest, even though your intentions were pure. So if giving too much too soon can push someone away, does giving too little protect you? The truth is just as complicated and even more revealing. On the other end of the spectrum is the quiet fear that if you give too much, you'll lose someone, so you give nothing. Thinking distance will protect you, but emotional starvation pushes people away just as fast as emotional overload. Because humans can't invest where they don't feel seen or valued. When someone tries and tries and tries again while getting no warmth, no reassurance, no sign of deeper connection, their hope slowly collapses. They don't leave because they stopped caring. They leave because they started hurting. The bond breaks not from lack of potential, but from the exhaustion of waiting for reciprocity that never comes. Attraction needs oxygen, presence, effort, attention, vulnerability. Without these, the spark simply dies on its own. So how do you find the balance between giving too much and giving too little? The real secret lies in the rhythm of growth itself. The strongest relationships aren't held together by promises or memories. They're held together by growth, by the feeling that both people are still becoming. When one person evolves and the other stays frozen in who they were years ago, the emotional distance grows even if love still lingers. People crave discovery within their partner, the sense that there is always more to learn, more to explore, more depth waiting beneath the surface. When growth disappears, novelty fades, and the connection slowly turns into routine, familiarity, and eventually emotional numbness. Many long-term relationships fail, not because of betrayal, but because one partner stayed the same while the other expanded beyond the old version of the relationship. Momentum is magnetic. When you keep growing, you continue to inspire curiosity, admiration, and emotional engagement. But growth is only one piece of the puzzle, because what people seek in relationships comes in many emotional currencies, and understanding those currencies changes everything. Every connection is built on invisible currencies: emotional warmth, excitement, stability, challenge, admiration, novelty, and each person values them differently. Some crave adventure because their life feels predictable. Others crave safety because their past was chaotic. Attraction forms when your natural energy aligns with the emotional needs someone hasn't been able to satisfy on their own. This is why someone can adore you yet still not choose you. Your emotional currency might not match what they're subconsciously searching for, and what they seek changes with life stages. Who they want at 20 is not who they need at 30, and who they need at 30 might not inspire them at 40. The truth is, compatibility isn't fixed. It shifts, evolves, and sometimes dissolves as people transform. But what happens when the currency you provide stops matching what they desire? That moment explains almost every heartbreak people don't see coming. Most relationships don't end in the moment they appear to end. They end silently, slowly, in the private spaces of someone's mind, long before they ever speak a word. While you're still giving, still trying, still hoping, they may already be measuring the emotional cost against the emotional return. When connection begins to feel heavier than healing, more draining than fulfilling, the heart quietly starts detaching to protect itself. What looks like sudden coldness is usually the final stage, not the first, an ending that was emotionally rehearsed long before you ever noticed the shift. It hurts because you never got to see the internal debates, the doubts, the quiet unraveling that led them to pull away. Understanding this doesn't erase the pain, but it frees you from believing their silence was your failure. But if someone leaves quietly, why do they sometimes come back just as quietly? The truth behind their return will change the way you see every reconnection. When someone returns after disappearing, it's rarely because they suddenly realized your value. It's usually because life exposed the emptiness of what they chased. Distance has a way of stripping away illusions, and the thrill or distraction that pulled them away no longer gives them the emotional nourishment they expected. They come back not just for you, but for the version of themselves they felt when they were with you. The safety, the acceptance, the emotional grounding. Humans often return to what made them feel seen, especially when the world stops offering the same comfort or clarity. Their return might feel validating, but it's also a sign that they're still searching, still unresolved, still wrestling with their own unmet needs. That's why many returns are temporary. They're visits to familiarity, not commitments to growth. But the real question isn't why they come back, it's whether you should let them. And that decision rewrites the entire story. True strength in relationships comes from knowing your worth, maintaining your growth, and choosing connections that reciprocate your energy and effort. Protecting your emotional and personal value isn't selfish. It's how you prevent imbalance. exhaustion, and heartbreak. Healthy relationships aren't about extraction. They're about mutual investment, where both people give and receive in meaningful, sustainable ways. You give because you want to, not because you fear losing someone, and you receive because the other person genuinely values you. Attraction and connection thrive when both people keep growing, keep challenging each other, and keep creating new experiences together. Understanding this cycle, value growth, reciprocity gives you clarity, control, and freedom in your relationships. If you've ever felt invisible, used, or unappreciated, now you see why, and more importantly, how to reclaim your power and choose connections that honor your true value.